Its cover story, we are getting our first look at the lineup for this year's Evolution Festival. This is just the second year for the massive music event at Forest Park. And this festival is all about music, but also something so much more, making St. Louis a big name in entertainment after years of struggling.
For 8 years, LouFest brought in thousands of people to Forest Park. But days before bands were set to hit the stage in 2018, the festival was canceled.
At the time, organizers blamed bad publicity over financial troubles and the fickle St. Louis weather. But the trouble was just beginning when a lawsuit claimed sabotage. It all culminated in LouFest's demise, ending a major national draw for the Gateway City. Years would pass until a new live music fest would rise. Summer 2023 brought the Evolution Festival featuring music, barbecue, and bourbon.
I'm excited. Music is a passion of mine.
I think it's great.
In its inaugural year, Evolution Festival bringing in more than 25,000 music lovers and showing the evolution of St. Louis just beginning. All right, so take a look. There are more than 24 acts coming for Evolution Fest. Some of the big names right there on your screen, with one of them playing in the background. That is the Killers that you hear. They, along with Beck and Blondie, lead the September 2024 show, and tickets, by the way, go on sale on Wednesday for that. So joining me now here on the couch, the co-producers of Evolution Fest, Joe Litvag and Steve Shankman. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on this lineup. Really excited about a lot of the acts. Thanks. So let's talk about the process of planning a festival like this, and when does it start? Either one of you can kind of take that.
Well, it starts the minute Evolution 23 was over. 24 booking starts, because there's a lot of festivals around the country, and now that St. Louis has a festival, we need to get in there right away. Matter of fact, Joe and Jeff Jarrett, who's our curator for the festival entertainment, we're out in California getting these things lined up until last week when we added Peter Yorn. So it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of process just to get that done. Then we get into the production mode, stage, sound, lights, planning, everything. That we build a city. I mean, we spend 10 days putting something together in a venue that was really needed in St. Louis. We have great venues like the Factory and the Pageant and Riverport, some of which, or all of which of those I was involved with. But without a festival, these acts wouldn't be here next September.
And it's fair to say that these festivals just have a huge impact for the regions. As you know, we're talking about St. Louis, but we kind of have a graphic here of the thousands of people that are drawn to some of these. So here's a breakdown of some of the big festivals in the U.S. So Coachella in California drew more than 500,000 fans over 2 weekends and rakes in more than $100 million in profits on average. Lollapalooza up in Chicago brings in 115,000 people over 4 days, averaging $60.7 million in profits. So just some huge numbers. Let's talk about here in St. Louis. I mean, the economic impact that Evolution Festival plans on having for you guys.
Sure. I mean, it's a huge part of why we do what we do. Is not just to create this celebration, but to help improve St. Louis and convince people to want to come visit St. Louis and even want to move to St. Louis. So it's definitely something we pay a lot of attention to. We spend a lot of time and effort marketing the festival here in St. Louis and the surrounding, say 100-mile radius. But we also spend a great deal of time marketing the festival farther outside St. Louis, places like Kansas City, Indianapolis, Springfield, Missouri, Louisville, Kentucky, all those types of places, because our goal is not just to sell a bunch of tickets. We want to sell a bunch of tickets, but we want to attract people to St. Louis, have people come into town, stay in the hotels, eat at the restaurants, experience the rest of the arts culture around Forest Park, and really take the whole thing in at the same time.
Well, the economics is incredible. I mean, if you think about it, we pay sales tax on concessions and tickets. We pay taxes on people, employees. We have over 500 different people working for us, which is a big group. And then you have all the people that come to St. Louis and hotels, and it's just great. And it's great for the institutions in Forest Park. I've been associated with the zoo for 30 years, and the zoo will get visitors that morning and have lunch or camp out in the park or go to some of the other great institutions. So it really brings a lot of interest to St. Louis. And like I said, nobody was going to do a festival, and that's when Joe and I decided we need to do this for St. Louis. I mean, I got promoting when I sold what became Live Nation in 1998. I never thought I would produce my own concert with our money together. But with Joe, who's an expert in doing festivals, who worked for me at one time back in the mid-90s, but he did almost 20 festivals.
16.
All right,
Close,
well,
that's
that's
close to.
Well,
Close
four
to.
more,
Round down.
four more evolutions will be at 20.
Yeah, and Evolution Fest, as we said, it's just the second year. What was learned from year one that's going to be implemented in year two here?
We had a lot of learnings. I mean, look, we fortunately did a lot of things right, and we got lucky. You know, we lucked out with the weather.
Yeah.
You know, but we learned a lot, and I think post-festival we probably had a good 10 pages of notes and things we want to improve on for 2024. So it's a lot of little things that maybe the public doesn't even see, but just organizationally, operationally, and then there's the things that the public does see. We're adding a third stage this year.
Wow.
We added another entrance on the south side of the festival site to make it easier for people to get in and out. We're adding a beer garden this year because, of course,
Beer in St. Louis.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope, because we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah.
But it's just important to listen to the public. And the survey that was done of 1,000 folks after the festival had a lot of great ideas and a lot of things that we're going to do this year to change. Like you said, we're tweaking small things, but everything was great. We didn't have any incidents. We didn't have any medical issues. And we're just praying for good weather. But the end of September is a lot nicer than the end of, obviously, August.
No doubt. Well, Steve and Joe, really appreciate your time. We look forward to September.
Thanks for having us.
For both of you.
Appreciate it.
And by the way, again, you can start getting tickets on Wednesday morning. And we want to hear your take on today's cover story. You can email us at yourtake@firstalerts4.com.